Councilmember Robert Clark was first out of the gate when City Council members discussed a non-discrimination ordinance on Monday night.
I want everybody to understand what we're doing and what we're not doing. What we're essentially doing is codifying into the city ordinances what is the law of the land as it currently stands. To me, there are three hot button areas in this area. One I'll call the bathroom issue, one I'll call the sports issue, and the last one we'll call it the wedding cake issue. I think it's important to understand that this ordinance does not affect those issues. Those issues are still churning in the country, and it's going to be up to Washington, that being either the Supreme Court, the President, or the Congress, to address them. And the wedding cake issue goes back to a ruling by the Supreme Court as to whether or not someone in Colorado had to make a cake for someone else. I mention it specifically because we did have an issue in Winston-Salem similar to this. We had a wedding venue, or venue, I should say, that someone wanted to use for a wedding event, and they were declined. We don't have the authority to tell or to overturn Supreme Court rulings, but I do think we have an obligation to obey them.
Councilmember Kevin Mundy responded to Clark later in the meeting.
I want to make sure that Mr. Clark knows his comment is not directed towards him personally, but something he said about the cake law being the law of the land. We must challenge those laws. The law of the land is also that you cannot deny anyone the right to vote, but we have legislators all over the country trying to put laws in place that would do that. You cannot deny abortion, but if you look to the South, we've got South Carolina and other states that are putting laws in place. So we have to challenge these laws. So many laws, especially when it comes to civil rights, municipalities and states challenge the federal government. I don't want to leave the impression with the community that we're passing something that really doesn't have an impact on the community. It most certainly does. And at some point soon, we will be on the right side of history when we make sure that I and my fellow members of the LGBTQ community have the exact same rights as everyone else.
I'm Wesley Young, reporting for the Winston-Salem Journal.